really wonderful way. I wish that all dispensaries could be like the ones that I've visited in California. And that's because they have a very wide array, usually of ratios, of product ratios out in California, with different levels of CBD to THC that you can pick from and choose your ratio. Because like I said, if the more THC in a product, the more you're going to feel those intoxicating effects. And so, you can have a ratio of 8-to-1 CBD to THC or 20-to-1, and you can try all these different ratios to see what works for you. So I think that's wonderful. But to answer your question, the most important thing right now when you're looking for a product, especially a CBD product that's not from a dispensary, because those are unregulated, you want to make sure you find they have a third-party lab test. So that's to show that the amount of CBD that they say is in the product is actually on the lab test. So if it says 25 milligrams per serving, you want to see that on the lab test as well. And you want to make sure that it's negative for heavy metals, pesticides, residual solvents that could have come through the processing. Because CBD, like I said, is totally unregulated right now, it's really important to get those lab tests. If you do get it from a licensed dispensary, they have stricter regulations with the kind of products they're able to sell. So you're probably better off that way. But even if you're getting it from a dispensary, you may want to ask and see the lab test to make sure what you're getting is really what it says on the label.
So if I'm on my road trip and I stop at the gas station and they've got CBD oil at the checkout counter, which I've seen, that's probably not the one I want to buy?
It's probably not. No, I would not recommend CBD from a gas station for sure. Yeah, you really want to do your research and make sure the company is doing, like I said, those third-party lab tests, meaning someone else is doing the lab test that's not affiliated with the company, so they can't, make it up. And you want to make sure that they're using safe practices. And then just to answer your question about the hemp versus marijuana, right now it's all legal terms. So hemp-based CBD versus marijuana-based CBD is basically just about the amount of THC and other cannabinoids, which are other compounds within the cannabis plant, that are in the product. So if it's hemp-based CBD, it's basically just very, very minimal THC was going to be in that plant that was grown for that CBD. And if it's marijuana-based CBD, it basically just means that in that plant, there was a higher level of THC. And this is all, these numbers are just kind of, the numbers that they're using to differentiate these plants. But it's all the same, comes from the same plant at the end of the day.
Now bring us up to date. The DEA once classified this substance as really nasty stuff. Where do we stand? Where do we stand with the DEA, and where do we stand with the FDA with these substances?
Well, right now, cannabis is still a Schedule I drug federally.
Correct.
So I hope that will change. I don't know for sure when it will. I mean, people predict that will change within the next couple of years. CBD, as of 2018, became legal federally, which is why you see the CBD boom everywhere. So CBD from hemp, which just means 0.3% THC or less, is federally legal. Anything more, you have to get from a licensed dispensary, which will be different in every state. Some states have medical dispensaries only, which you're going to need a medical card in order to access those products. And so you have to go to a doctor, get approved for a medical marijuana card, and then you can go to a dispensary. Some states have recreational or adult use dispensaries, which is usually 21 plus. And right now it just varies from state to state. So things are changing every day. My hope is that it will become federally legal soon.
All right, I'm going to throw you something out of left field. What do you know about black urine disease?
I've never heard of that before.
Oh, good. Okay. So I have a very good friend, and I won't mention his name, who ran a company that was really big into CBD and kind of put their whole careers into that, and was working very hard with the FDA to get FDA approval for CBD. And you probably know that the FDA does not approve CBD.
Yeah. Right.
And interestingly enough, and I did not know this, because he said, "I'm sure you've heard of black urine disease." And I said,